สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a dish called Miang Pla Too. Now whenever you hear the word Miang in front of a dish name, it means that it's some sort of a bite-sized wrap. And there's lots of different types of Miang out there in Thai cuisine, but the one I'm going to show you today is my absolute favorite, and it's probably the easiest one you can make too. Really healthy, really delicious. Let's get started. So one of the main components of this dish is rice noodles, or what we call khanom jeen. And it's a particular kind of rice noodles that's round and also very tender. Now in Thailand it always comes fresh, but here you can get dry ones, and it's usually sort of Vietnamese product. Comes in a bag like this, and they come in different sizes. So the one you want is the fine one. So another type of noodles that you can use, it's not traditional or authentic, but it works really well, and sometimes I prefer it, is the Japanese somen noodles. Now this is actually a wheat noodle, and it's very small, very thin. It cooks up to have very similar texture as rice noodles. However, the problem with the rice noodles is that if you have leftover and you put it in the fridge and you want to eat it again the next day, it will harden in the fridge. And so you have to reheat the noodles and let it cool down and all that jazz. The somen noodles will live in the fridge and it will not harden. So if you want to have it for your next meal, you don't want to bother with reheating, this will be a better choice. And once you put it in the wrap, you can't really tell the difference. So it's up to you. These also take a lot less time to cook. It only takes 2 minutes. So bring the water to a boil. And you don't want these al dente, okay? Rice noodles are not good chewy. You want these to cook fully, and so they become tender in the end. So for this size, I find about 9 minutes. So the noodles are done, and now what you need to do with these rice noodles is put them in a pot, a bowl of cold water, and that'll cool them down. And as you can see, there's so much starch. That's what you want to wash off by putting it in cold water so that the noodles are not gumming up together. Now, you don't want to just drain it and leave the noodles sitting in a clump, because what's going to happen is they'll be really hard for people to separate. It'll just be this mass of noodles, right? So what we do in Thailand is we take them out and we arrange them into sort of bite-sized portions, okay? So what you do is you take just a little bit, give it a shake so it releases all the tangles. Okay, and you always get more than you think you're gonna get. And then what I do is I just rest it for a little bit on the paper towel to absorb excess water. And then you coil it up. And so that way, when people go to grab it, they're not having to pull it out of a big mass of noodles. So it's one neat little piece. All right, let's make the sauce. As I mentioned, this miang is Miang Pla Too. Now, Pla Too is a Thai short mackerel. So this being seafood, the sauce we're using is quite similar to my ultimate seafood sauce. Some of you may remember that video. It's just a little bit different, okay? We're gonna start out with some garlic and chilies. So in goes to the blender. And then I'm gonna add some palm sugar. However, this palm sugar, I actually soaked it a little bit in hot water, and it's just to help the sugar dissolve. Some fish sauce, of course, and fresh lime juice. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of cilantro. I wanna make sure though that you use the stems and the leaves. I see sometimes people pick off all the leaves off the cilantro and then throw the stems away, and I'm always like, no! Okay, now I'm gonna blend this up. All right, that looks good. And that's it. Almost done. Just one more thing to do is dealing with our pla too. So this is pla too, ladies and gentlemen, Thai short mackerel. If you can't find the short mackerel, you can also just get regular mackerel, widely available, and I get mine in fillet form, frozen. And this is gonna be a little bit fattier, which may not be a bad thing, but the flavor of these two are very similar, especially once you put it in the wrap. It's really sort of the same feeling you're getting from either. So now I'm going to pan fry. Now, if you get pla too, they always come already steamed. And I'm just gonna pan sear them to get the skin golden brown and to heat up the meat, basically. This mackerel, the regular one, is raw, so I have to cook it, but it only takes maybe like 1.5 minutes on each side. It's very quick. And that's it. So now one thing I'm gonna tell you about mackerel is that there are pin bones. Ooh. Now you can either just tell your guests, hey, watch for bones, or if you're serving children or if you don't want to be responsible for anyone choking, you can pull them out now. It's hard to pull them out when it's raw because it's sticky, but once it's cooked, you can just run your finger and you can feel it and just pull them out and they're just right here and you can feel it. And that's it. All right, this is my favorite part, building the platter. So this is a DIY kind of wrap, okay? So you build your own as you eat. So it's a great opportunity to get a really nice platter out for your guests. So I've got here some bamboo basket that I got from like a Japanese dollar store for literally $2. Some banana leaves, which is available at Asian grocery stores in the frozen section. Make sure you clean these, they're super dirty when you buy them. And then I just got some green leaf lettuce, which is classic for this miang, but you can use other kinds of lettuce too, but stick with something crunchy, right? So here's our sauce. The other ingredients for the wrap that I haven't talked about, so this is shredded ginger, goes so well together, some shallots, some roasted peanuts, and I always roast mine fresh. I always buy them raw because if you buy them roasted, they've been roasted for a long time and they're just not, they don't have as fresh of a flavor, right? And you just stick them in the oven for 15-20 minutes, that's it. Super easy. Take the noodles, which are now in easy to move bundles, and just pile on a few. And they'll dry up and become a little bit sticky as they sit. Yay! Okay, and now the fish goes on. And that's it, look how pretty that is. Okay, but I will tell you this, that dipping sauce is spicy. So if you are serving to a bunch of people and some people like it spicy, some not, what I would recommend is don't make this spicy, maybe only use one chili, and then just add a little dish of fresh chilies to the side so the people who like it spicy can serve, and you will chop this obviously, don't just give them whole ones. Chop it up so people can add little pieces of fresh chilies to their own bite. That's one way to get around it as well. But yeah, I might as well just put a couple down just for garnish in my case. There you go. All right, let me show you how to eat this. You just take a fork and it comes out pretty easily. So make sure you watch for bones, okay? Because, you know, dealing with a whole fish and with pla too, there's lots of little bones involved. If you're serving this to kids, definitely do this for them. Or what you can do, what I do sometimes, is I just take them out into little chunks like this, and I don't serve the whole fish, I just serve a plate with little chunks, and I've gone through them, make sure there are no bones in advance. A little piece of lettuce, a little piece of fish, a little bundle of rice noodles. This is probably a little much for one bite, so I'm gonna just pull that apart a little bit. Some ginger, I love ginger with this, so I'm gonna load it up a bit. Some shallots, some peanuts, and then some sauce. This looks like a big bite, but it's one bite. Oh, that is so good. It's so refreshing. There's just so much going on. The crunchiness, the gingeriness, the nuttiness, the tender noodles, and the little bit chewy fish. Oh, and that sauce. Spicy, let me warn you. Spicy, garlicky, but super refreshing. Oh, this is so good. Oh my God, you have to try it. Now, one thing I'll tell you, you notice I didn't season my fish at all when I fried them. Mackerel has a lot of natural saltiness already, so trust me, with this sauce especially, you're not gonna need any seasoning. This is so good. All right, I'm super hungry, so I'm gonna go and devour the rest of this. The recipe, as always, will be on hotthai-kitchen.com. When you make it, send me a photo. It's very pretty, and you can send them on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so right here, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal. But it's a Japanese... Uy, ตายละ Oh my. Now to check if the pan is hot enough, just touch it. No, don't touch it.